Hello friend, welcome to Bricks Embedded System tutorial. I am Rajiv and in this tutorial we are going to learn about the external interrupt. Now as we had seen that in last tutorial we can create different type of interrupts inside our code. The functions which we need to create for these interrupts are called ISR. So in this tutorial, we are going to see how to create ISRs for external interrupt. So this is the microcontroller at Mega 16 or maybe at Mega 32. Both of them are having same hardware detail. So in this microcontroller, there are three pins: pin number 16, pin number 17, and pin number 3. These three pins are actually INT0, INT1 and INT2. There are three interrupts in at Mega 16 or at Mega 32. These three pins can be used to generate an external interrupt inside your code. Just for explanation, we will explain only INT0 and you will see that exactly same pattern is there for INT1 and INT2 also. So these are the three pins, pin number 16, 17 and 3, INT0, 1 and 2. Now for interrupt 0, there are four conditions which we can create, or there are actually four conditions. We can select one out of these four to generate an interrupt. Like the condition number 0 is low level. Whenever the pin INT0 pin will be low, the ISR will continuously get called. Next condition is condition number 1, that is any logical change. It means whenever there will be any change on the pin, the ISR function will get executed only once. So for each change, it will get called once. Next is condition number 2, it's a falling edge. So whenever there will be a falling edge on that pin, pin number 16, pin number IAT0, if there will be a falling edge on that pin, means the pin will become from 1 to 0, the ISR function will get executed only once. Similarly, we have a condition number 3, which is rising edge, means whenever there will be a change from 0 to 1, or whenever it will change from 0 volt to 5 volt, it will become 0 to high. The ISR for interrupt 0 will get executed. Now we can select one condition out of these four. So here you can see that I have written some code for interrupt 0. This is the ISR which we have created for interrupt 0. So here we need to write int0 underscore vect. So be careful while writing this text. Compiler will never give any error for this text, even if you will write a wrong spelling or wrong. It's actually case sensitive, so you need to take care of case also. So even if you do some mistake while typing this text, the compiler will not tell you anything. So be careful, just use copy paste or be careful while typing this text. So this is the ISR which we have created for interrupt 0. Now here there is a function which you need to called enable int0, and in this bracket you need to type the condition out of these four. So any one condition we can select like this. Here you can see that I have created this ISR and I have enabled the function with a condition number 3. 3 means the interrupt will get called only in a rising edge. So whenever there will be a change from 0 to 1 on pin number 16 of your microcontroller, this ISR will run. Otherwise, the code written inside your main function will run. This function disable int0 is just for display. We, in general, we never use this function, but sometime it may be possible that we want to disable the interrupt for some specific duration. In that case, we can use this function to disable int0. Similarly, we can create a ISR for interrupt 1. Here you can see that this is ISR, and here I have written the vector name of interrupt 1. Here also we have enabled the interrupt 1 with a condition rising edge. and this is the function to disable it. So whenever we want to disable, then only we need to call this. Here we have ISR2, ISR for interrupt 2. Actually, for ISR or for interrupt 2, we have only two conditions. In case of 0, the interrupt will run for falling edge only, and in case of 1, the interrupt will run for rising edge only. So we can't use the condition number 2 or 3 for interrupt 2 because we have only two conditions. We need to select only out of 0 and 1. So here I have, as you can see, I have written enable int2 and this condition is 3. So actually this statement is wrong. Here we can only type 2, or we can choose out of 2, 0 and 1. And this is the function to disable the interrupt 2. Now if we are interested, we can create multiple interrupts also, like here this is int0 and this is int1. Here it should be 1 actually. So interrupt 1, interrupt 0 we have enabled with condition number 3, interrupt 1 we have enabled with condition number 3 also. So if we want, we can use a different condition. There is no rule that you can create only same condition. So both the interrupts are fully independent. So whatever we want, we can do with interrupt 0, and whatever we want, we can do with interrupt 1. Similarly, if we want, we can call all three interrupts. So for more detail of programming about interrupt, you can visit our website, ftp.brixworld.com, and on that website you will find a folder for sample code. Inside that folder you will find more than 1,000 different codes for different section of programming. Inside that folder you will find different workspace. You can find a workspace named 1int. So inside that workspace you will find multiple codes for interrupts. So download that folder and use that int 1int folder as your workspace. You will find multiple codes for external interrupts, and you can learn more about interrupts. So that's all for this tutorial. Please keep watching our tutorials to learn more about embedded systems. Thank you.